Last week we were left off with our party at Proxima Station, having negotiated with the Psycho a upgrade to their ship in exchange for a little leisure trip out to the rim. Or at least that was the intention. However, how shall our people handle it, and what did they do during the 4 weeks absence from quality life on board Jacaranda? What is their plan? And obviously, what skills did they learn during the absence? Let's start with Femi. What did you do during these 4 weeks?
Because I have let myself down and not been able to scan and, read thoughts as best as I think I should. So I would probably actually just be trying to, increase like the range and how long I could, reach out into the world with my telepathy.
So you're training your telepathic skills.
Yes.
What about Malone? What is your goal during this week?
I'm definitely cleaning up all of my guns, making sure they're all nice and sharp, making sure that this time the clip does not fall off. Practice range. Okay. I am going to get as badass as I can with whatever weaponry I have available to me.
Very well. So you clean your guns, and what do you do with the rest of the 3 weeks and 6 days and 23 hours?
There's a lot of working out, a lot of resting, a lot of bulking up, big lot of bulking up. These 4 weeks is going to be a lot of time for me to recover from my wounds. I think I'm pretty good. It's pretty darn good now. I can no longer feel the twinges anymore. Maybe check around, talk to the crew, get to know everybody, talk some stories. That's about it.
Okay, that's cool.
And however, if at any point Femi and I would like to have a little one-on-one, that's all right too.
Little mind-to-mind. Very well. Wesley.
Wesley will content himself with practicing his trade and bargaining skills, as he believes he is the only one capable of getting the best for the crew, and frankly he is unwilling to go through the cycle or trust them overmuch after their recent performances. And he is going to spend his downtime writing a philosophical screed decrying the decadence of Renaissance art, and why can't we go back to the old space futurism of the late 2100s that has a lot more aesthetic and political and moral value. Who's Da Vinci? Nope. So, yeah, that's what he's doing. He published anonymously, of course,
Published anonymously, of course. Let's see how well that does. It garners some substantial clout in the art community, this flaming speech about valuing the old over the recent. And there is quite a rise in the price of the 21st century art. But as far as affecting the value of a certain Da Vinci-based art, no, that remains debatable because nobody wants to sell that piece.
Well, big in the art community.
Meanwhile, Cortas is spending his time with
the bottle.
What skill does that fall under?
That would be carousing.
Exactly. And I've been hitting the bottle a lot, unfortunately.
Alright, sir. What does your carousing skill check say about your success in the art of making friends during this time?
Probably the opposite. We'll find out.
You managed to make contacts with the human party circles. These would be the nouveau riche that want to hang around with the affluent Centauri.
Just like the crowd that was hanging around that pompous wee kid Retha.
Pretty similar, yes. So you spent your time at the casino more or less with the bottle and way less with the dice. With the 4 weeks behind, you return to Proxima after hearing the report that yes, the retrofit to Jacaranda has been accomplished ahead of schedule, and you arrive during the February 11th, 3 days before the actual deadline, to find Jacaranda looking the same as always, with the small exception of this extension behind its original hull, making the ship longer and much heavier looking. A lot more surface to hit, but also a lot more surface to be destroyed if they want to take you out. And additional to that, the Psycho has decided to give you the capacity of jumping twice with your fuel reserves. That means you can jump in and you can jump out without having to refuel at the same location. Though how long it takes for you to re-engage the jump drives after you have jumped in from the hyperspace to jump back into hyperspace, from hyperspace and back to hyperspace, that will take approximately 1d6 minutes, unless you hurry it up with a suitable skill check in jump drive technology. Meanwhile, you are being briefed with the location where they wish you to go. The location is off the map. You have never seen a map of this area before, and quite simply, you have no direct route to that place. It is called Quadrant 86. The ship, the Icarus, was sent there a few months ago, and it has stopped reporting back. And your job is to go there, find out what happened, and get back. As simple as that. As they have given you the coordinates, you are able to plot the course down there. They recommend that you refuel at Jericho, because that is the closest Earth system, and jump from there towards your destination. Do you have any questions regarding the mission?
What is the priority? Are we to rescue the Icarus if something has happened, or is it purely information that you want?
Well, if there is signs the crew is in trouble, you are obviously to rescue them as per the spacefaring code. And the most important part is to find out what happened, and if possible gain logs and most recent data they have available and bring it back. And if they never made it there, then hopefully you catch some rumors of them in the meanwhile. Obviously, you can jump directly from Jericho, or you can just try and follow the hyperlane south. In fact, they have mapped a system that is between Earth and Minbari space, Arisia, that you may want to go there. There is a colony, but they don't have fuel for Earth ships down there. But they might have food or knowledge about the Icarus.
Alright, so to recap, primary objective is to find, investigate, and figure out what happened to the Icarus. Secondary goal is to try to rescue anybody that's still alive. As well as secondary goal, get their logs and any information that they might have on them. These are friendlies that have gone disappeared.
Indeed, that is an IPX in the planetary expedition ship that has gone missing. The interplanetary expeditions will pay 1.5 million credits for any information on the fate of Icarus that you can verify. Additionally, if you save any of her crew members, they are 23 in total, there is an additional prize of 100,000 credits each, if there are any alive, or in need of rescue, that is. If they're alive and well and doing their jobs, well, obviously they won't vouch for you saving them.
Planetary expeditions, are they private, or are they government-sponsored in the Babylon 5 universe?
They are private corporation, yes.
But they have government contracts.
No, as far as you can surmise, yes.
I wonder why Psychor is so heavily invested in the fate of this planetary ship. They wouldn't be doing this unless it was a favor for something, or they had 10 million credits worth of reasons to investigate. Obviously, our briefers aren't telling us shit, so need to figure it out for ourselves.
Your knowledge on the situation with the IPX is actually, you come up with pretty much nothing. There is a registry on IPX. There is a logo for it on file, and that they have been existing for about 50 years, but you find no information on what they are doing or who they are.
Okay, so I can surmise from this that they are in fact some sort of Psychor shell company or something along those lines.
That's definitely an option.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said nothing.
Okay.
Anyone else have a grievance?
Yeah, I got a question, I suppose. What was their mission? What was their destination?
Their destination was the Sector 86. There was information about ruined cities on a planet in the sector, and they were going to investigate and do the xenoarchaeology thing, aka go there, find out new technologies, bring them back to Earth, and make money.
Grave robbing, then.
No, it's discovery. You know, go out different locations, find old civilizations that don't exist. We got a lot of neat tech that way.
Exactly.
How we honor their memory.
Technology.
We honor their memory by integrating their technology into human society.
Yeah, they got no use for it. Besides, it's new discovery. It's all about discovery. On that same basis, do they have a last known location or a last point of egress?
They were reporting that they left Jericho system at schedule, and that was the last time we heard about them in any sort of tangible location. They were on hyperspace for 2 weeks after that. Reports have reached Central, but after that they stopped reporting back.
And I'm assuming that they pretty much gave us, like, description of all 23 people and at least that
They
information.
give you a database on the crew of the Ferris.
Have they outfitted us with supplies for the trip, or have they left that to our discretion?
To your discretion. They already gave you 10 million's worth of stuff, so...
Yeah.
Okay. I actually don't know supplies for Traveller. Would a leadership role to sort of hand it off to my competent and wonderful crew who have been doing a fantastic job and maybe in the line for more bonuses given how this mission goes?
Yes, definitely.
Sort of organize it? Cool.
As you relay the instructions to your crew, with the authoritative voice, you pronounce that there shall be a long-term mission and several supplies are required for the journey. Make your list of required items available to the management at your earliest convenience or at the latest in a day's time. And the crew takes this with eagerness, as the magnificent speaking voice of Wesley Zadora convinces them that this is indeed a great opportunity to make more money.
There is a handwritten note on the alcohol supplies, Femi !2 underlined. I look after my co-owners. I'm interested in their health and well-being.
By giving them alcohol poisoning?
Look, the man needs what the man needs to continue on and be a successful co-owner of the ship. It's not enabling so much as it is supporting.
More disabling, I would say.
Oh, he functions perfectly well.
Right.
It helps sometimes.
Well, Jacaranda's 16-ton cargo hold is currently holding 5 tons of items, 4 tons of preaching boards, and 1 ton of spare parts. So you can fill it with 11 more tons of supplies. You can either have it food supplies, more spare parts, or whatever you wish. Spare parts is 100,000 per ton, and food supplies is 5,000 credits per ton.
Okay. Regarding food supplies, how many tons of food per week does a person eat? If we were to rescue crew members on average, given their nutritional needs, I'm sure there's an index somewhere in the Spacefarer's handbook.
1 ton has supplies for 20 people for 1 week.
How much time for jumps between here to Jericho and...
It was estimated that it was 2 weeks from Jericho with direct navigation towards the destination in Sector 86.
Certainly. Let's get 2 tons of food supply in case we have to discover surviving crew members, and if not, it is a business expense that we can write off against the Psychor ledger.
Are you saying that one out loud to all of us?
Yes, I'm quite open with how I nickel and dime my employers. Because it is legal. I have a good accountant. Not only do I have a good lawyer, I have a good accountant. And he is aggressive in advising me.
Sadara, I don't think this is one where you want to have your accountant be that aggressive. Telepaths? You want to build the telepaths after what they've done for us?
Look, A debt forgiven is a debt unleveraged. We'll write it down, but let's not add it to the main book just yet.
That might be more advisable.
We just got all this, like 10 million's worth of stuff. Or nickel and diamond on two. I like it.
Yes. Look, they can clearly afford it. And we are doing them a favor. They wouldn't be doing this if they could find more reliable, less disposable people to send on this mission. So my sense of gratitude is slightly lacking at the moment.
Sure, let's go with that.
I don't say anything. I just make a mental mark in my head.
I'm just going to shake my head and go, fine, if that's what you're going to do it. Don't come crying to me if this blows up in your face.
So this is what we're thinking. We're doing enough food to get there and back, plus maybe a week's worth of searching time.
We have a hydroponics bay which supports all of us and our current crew. The extra food supplies are in case we recover any surviving crew members and need to feed them.
Yeah.
Even then, we can probably put them on starvation rations for 2 weeks if we just buy a ton of it, and they'll just have to toughen up. It's better than dying in space. Yeah.
We'll be fine. There's enough rations for us and them. Good idea. So, on that note, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we get to Jericho. That sounds like the best place to go. Maybe not stop off or speak with any... I don't know about talking with them first, but we're going to figure out the route from Jericho to Sector 86. Computer, what does our... I don't even know that we could tell. Can we figure out what Jericho to Sector 86, they're out for 2 weeks, it looks like. There's a lot of space to be looking in.
We have a renowned astrogator employed by us, so I think it's more a question to delegate it down to him. Maths makes my head hurt.
I mean, I would say it would make sense to go down to Jericho to see if, how much food they might have bought and how much fuel they may have paid for. That would give us at least a general knowledge of how far they can at least go out to before they would have no choice but to return, theoretically.
Sounds good. I'm not an investigator or anything like that, but it sounds like, sure, talking to people who the last known location, and it's probably the best idea of how to figure out where they're at.
Yep. I'm sure that at least one of these two could talk somebody's ear off. I just pointed to, Zadora and Landis.
I just want to point out that they were on the route somewhere. Now they're mysteriously disappearing. Shit's going to get real here, so be prepared for that.
I'm always prepared.
All right. I'm ready to go when you guys are.
That's up to the captain. He makes the call when you leave.
Certainly. Look, times are wasting, and every hour we spend docked here is more docking fees to go on the ledger. So let's get to it. Sooner jumped, sooner paid.
All right. You decide to plot a course towards Jericho Station, I believe?
Yep.
All right. That should be easy enough. Your standard navigator is more than capable of plotting the course via Seoul and towards Jericho Station. That takes you a total of 5 days to get there, so that would be February 16th that you get to Jericho Station. Your expenses for this journey, assuming using jump gates is always going to be cheaper than using your own jump drive, because refueling after a single jump is gonna set you back like 20,000, while using the jump gate costs you 500.
500,000? Wait, 500 credits.
500, like half a K.
Alright.
So
added it onto the expenses.
So you use once in Proxima and once in Jericho, come out to the local space station. It's a small, shabby station, barely enough to call a docking port. There is a colony underneath Jericho, but the station here seems almost brand new, like it was built only a few years ago. In fact, there is still construction workers expanding in the station that you can see as it spins above the planet it hosts.
Do I know why Jericho Station was built? Is it a private enterprise? Is it part of human political tendency towards expansion?
That's, I suppose, standard political knowledge, considering you were a politician. It's a monitoring outpost. It was also the first station the Minbari destroyed during the Minbari War, so it has been rebuilt, and it's here to provide security for the Jericho colony underneath.
Okay.
So, little refueling and resupplying for any trade vessels going from here towards Minbar or, well, out of Jericho mostly. Do you wish to board the station or do you wish to continue on your journey?
I vote that we board the station and we spend at least a day looking around, trying to get information or go through administrative records, talk to merchants, that kind of stuff. I don't know how we want to go about it as a group, but it's probably worth the day.
I'm going to just bring up basically a station directory, and I'm just looking for any kind of Centauri names, just to see, because I'm thinking Centauri are more likely to talk to Centauri. If there isn't, then me actually go the one and making questions in human space might just draw more attention.
On the database, the IPX crew is 100% human. There's not a single Centauri there.
Well, I mean on Jericho Station, I meant.
Jericho Station.
Right.
You don't know. Whatever station population is, it's not public record.
I'm looking at the other agreement. From your memory, how common is it for a Centauri to get out this far into your space? I mean, it's not Earth.
Well, things are always a little more porous at the borders, but, Jericho holds special significance in human politics company, currently as an outpost and as a symbol of the more recent war. Things are tense. I would be surprised if there were a huge amount of Centauri on the station.
Yes, so maybe my presence with you might be more of a detriment than anything else.
Certainly, we're well stocked with the liquor cabinets. You're more than welcome to use my stateroom for any calls you might want to make to family or to that lovely wife of yours. We will busy ourselves.
I already have one headache, so I don't need to.
Maybe what's your sort of approach to the station and to gathering information? How do you plan to go about it?
I'm going to frequent the most well-known drinking establishment.
Okay, yeah.
People tend to tell their bartender a lot more than they tell their wives, so.
That's true.
That is a good plan. That would be persuasion to dig out information, or investigation, I suppose, would work too.
Like to find the best bar, or?
There's only one bar, so.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
There barely is a bar. It's more like a single room with enough chairs to house 8 people and a single table if you want a conference in there.
Landis is looking up basically the tour guide to the station. I see that. I'm going, yeah, definitely not my place.
I will be going to, I guess, station administration and saying, the Zadora family, we've always been very supportive of the true red-blooded people out here on the border. We'd just like to see how the station construction is going on to report back to the soirees of Earth and things about how, real humanity lives out here.
I would probably go to look for the bartender. Assuming there's probably just one dude just kind of polishing a bar.
There's 2 dudes in the bar, one on the other side and one on the client side of the bar.
I'll walk up to him and I would ask him, a few friends of mine aboard a ship called the Icarus passed around here not too long ago. I was wondering if you could tell me the last time you've seen them at all.
The Icarus, eh? I do reckon they came here a couple of months ago. A couple of people came in to get drinks. Stocked up a few bottles. Didn't stay for long, didn't talk much. What are you asking?
I don't know. We just, we're just looking for them. It's been a few weeks since we've heard from them. We're just trying to make sure they're okay.
Can't help you there, lad. They didn't stick around here, though. That's what I can tell you.
I want to cast lie detection. Or lie detection.
Detect lies.
Detect lies.
Okay, he's not lying.
Okay.
He's definitely on the point here. There's nothing he needs to lie about.
Okay.
They came here, they left. There was. You sense some sort of annoyment towards them, but that's about it.
Okay. Do you know any other places they might have frequent it more than your lovely bar here?
Well, Jimmy has the supply depot across the boulevard. Yeah, they like to call that thing a boulevard. Blame those guys. Either way, yeah, probably got some supplies from Jimmy.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I'll give him what's a good thank you tip amount? 10 credits?
5 to 10 credits, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a tip in the future, or do they pay sort of galactically mandated minimum wage?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Well, I'll give him 10 credits and say, well, thank you for your time.
Oh, welcome. He clearly smiles at the tip being left, and yes, this is American vision of the future, so of course there's people working at the minimum wage, below minimum wage, and living off of tips, so think of that as you will.
Well, I guess I'll go to Jimmy's.
Yeah, Jimmy's is literally across the narrow walkway that is called the boulevard, and there is literally what you would imagine a general store in the 1800s, except the shelves ain't made of wood but metal and filled with all sort of knickknacks and items and small packages and things like that. Welcome there. What can I get ya?
Got any cigarettes back there?
Cigarettes, the real deals or the locals?
The real deals.
Ooh, pricey. Yeah, I got some.
How much?
Let's see. Regular cigarettes, 20 credits a pack.
I tell him I buy 10 packs. So that's
10 packs? Oh my, big client. Looking to batter me up or something.
Yeah. So as I'm buying my cigarettes, I will slyly be like, hey, you know the last time you seen those Icarus guys around here?
Icarus, eh? Hey, they got themselves a nice load out here. Yeah, I think they were going on a long journey. They emptied my stores mostly. All the knickknacks I had. 2 months ago, you couldn't get a cigarette on the station for a week. There were some desperate people out here. They smoked anything that burned.
Alright, so just looking around the store and kind of just eyeing the inventory, how hard would it be for me to surmise how long, if they literally bought out everything, how long they would be able to survive before they would have to come back and restock?
You look around and, well, half of that isn't really things that they can eat. Looks like tools, spanners, camping gear, things you would use on a planet that has a little atmosphere. So, if they emptied out this, probably 2 weeks, maybe? That's assuming they didn't stock up at wherever they left.
I will take my overabundance of cigarettes.
He hands you one of those cartons with 10 packs in it.
Yep.
There you go.
That's well, thank you for this. Well, thank you for the cigarettes and thank you for the information.
Hey, worries, matey. If you need anything else, I'll be right here.
Yeah.
It's the slow season now. There's no ship docked. Well, except the new one. You're probably on it, so.
And actually, I say, if you remember any additional information about my friends on Icarus, I'm really looking to get back in touch with them. Just let me know, and I'll give him a number to call, and I'll give him 50 additional credits.
Ooh, I'll definitely try to jog my memory, but I don't think I have anything. Hey, hope you find them though.
Yeah.
Good clients. Would like to have them back.
Okay. I'll walk out.
Yeah, you leave Jimmy be. So, Wesley, what was Wesley about to find out while...
This is a very fine station that you have here. I'm always impressed about, how you do it out here away from the decadent center of civilization. I just sort of want to lay on the flattery with station officialdom and leverage that into, is it quite a busy port? Is it a lot of trade? Yes or no? And then sort of try and have a look at the administration logs is really what I'm getting at. So look, I can see the economy is booming or that kind of thing.
So you try to wiggle your way into sneaking a peek at the admin logs.
Yeah. Under the guise of sort of, I'm so interested in Minbari Earth trade and you're doing such a fantastic job and so on and so forth.
Definitely, he actually shows you the admin logs. Hey, look, we got here logs. We got ship coming in from Minbari. We got ships going out to Minbari. There's even this one ship that went out exploring systems. Actually, 3 ships total. And
Oh, fascinating. You do exploration here. Do you think it's going to be a big part of the economy going forward? Wouldn't it be wonderful, if they found something and, Jericho became a hub, just kind of steer it in that direction, focusing on this exploration?
The EarthGov has been funding the expansion of the Jericho station. They are predicting a boom in Minbari trade, and also if they discover habitable planets in this region, there will be more demand for a fueling station between here and the new colonies. Who knows? The hyperlane routes here are much to be discovered.
Absolutely. The frontiers provide a galaxy of opportunity for those who have the courage to reach out and grab them, and I love what you're all doing here.
Exactly. The local overseer is more than happy to be around such a high-powered trader. He's clearly trying to impress you and hopefully get your business into the station.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Yep.
I was going to say, basically what I'm looking for is just details, I guess, about those exploration ships, when they arrived, when they left, how many there's been previously, just that sort of plot-relevant information.
Plot-relevant information is there's apparently like 2 or 3 exploration ship visits here, as they go from here to unknown locations. However, the ship you're looking at, the logs you have on the ship's arrival and left match the ones the station has. Okay. So there's no discrepancy there. They arrived and left exactly as they reported.
Do you know where any of these exploration ships were going to? Did they mention anything? It's endlessly fascinating to us back in Central Earth Alliance. About what the future holds.
Most of the exploration ships, they are very open and loud. They are going to the new frontier to find out new things. But there was this one crew. They were pretty quiet about it. They just were like, yeah, we have this place, there's ruins and stuff, and we're going there. And that struck me as a bit of a weird, but well, I suppose if they're worried about competition coming over, that makes sense. I mean, who wants somebody to steal your findings before you find it?
Absolutely. Do you see a lot of piracy around here? I mean, I ask, just purely in a general sense, of not anything. You don't have to disclose anything that would put you in a compromising position. But we're looking to sort of begin operating out of this area, and any heads up would be appreciated and remembered down the line.
Well, can't think of anything in particular. There's been some mentions of raiders, but I think that's mostly the northern parts of the Alliance, near that new fancy Babylon station. That place has a lot of trade, as it's the big hub. But here, we only have the Minbari, and nobody wants to fight the Minbari. I don't blame them. I wouldn't have this job if the Minbari didn't destroy the previous Jericho station with the previous commander on it. But I don't want to mess with the Minbari while I'm still in command here.
Absolutely, I understand entirely, and I just give the eye patch a tab. I lost this, it just descends into sort of the odd war story, just to leave them with a good impression.
Oh, that is
That's me.
fascinating. And your conversation derails from that, and Malone, talking about war heroes. Old war stories. How does our living war story handle himself?
Well, I like to be quiet. Let's see, who's with me? Wait, Landis is still on the ship, right?
Yes.
I think I'm hanging out with Wesley and just being quiet. Looking left, right, looking at my surroundings. What, from where we're at with Wesley, what else is around?
It's the overseas office. So it's, compared to Wesley's office, it's tiny. I mean, the Wesley's private office / quarters on your ship is extravagant compared to this. This is as bare bones as you get. There's a few knickknacks, like ornamental pieces on the table, but shells are on most of the walls, and there is no window outside. Yeah, there's not much around there. Outside on the corridor there is a few more offices for some clerks, but they seem to be minding their own business there.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have much to say. This is a nice place around here. Security seems good. You mentioned that there's not been a lot of attacks around here.
No, this sector space is pretty safe. There's not a lot of aliens in this area. I believe there's Deneth nearby they come across, but they're not causing any trouble. Aside of that, there's only the Minbari. They usually skip this. They usually have enough fuel to get to Earth directly. So there's a few ships here, mostly Earth ships that go through here. It's a peaceful part of the Empire.
Well, that's good. That's good. Let's try to keep it that way.
Yeah, hoping so too. But hey, the planet is nice. We're expecting a lot more immigrants to come here. Hopefully that will boost up business. During the last 10 years, we've had 12,000 new people coming in.
Wow, that is a lot. You know, the human race is expanding, and this is great. We keep going out to more and more frontiers. Earth is starting to, get a little overpopulated. Mars is, well, that's a good landing point, but I figure here within our next generation, this place is going to be a hub of activity. Watch.
I agree. It has a lot of potential. Hopefully, if you want to settle, there is more than enough land. The government has guaranteed everyone at least an acre of arable land to farm, if you're ever interested in the peaceful life.
What do you think, Wesley? Setting out this far out, frontier land, alone in space.
I have a question. Is the investment corporation for this station publicly traded?
Well, the station itself is actually EarthCom property.
Mm-hmm.
But there is commercial spaces available on the boulevard, if you wish to partake in that.
Certainly. I would be interested in holding at least a large stock option in commercial property here. I would need to explore further, but I'm impressed with what I have seen so far.
Oh, definitely. I will send you the files right away. You can peruse them at your leisure, and there will be the information required for your accountants to do the necessary investments when you so decide.
You know, some land purchase around here, build a hotel over there, a couple farmlands, a couple residences. There could be some real money to be made around here.
I think commercial refueling is the thing. Commercial refueling or retrofitting.
You're the guy who's knows more about that. I wouldn't have a clue.
I'm sure we could build you something small, palatial, maybe neo-noir, some stone lions on the front gates.
Yeah, I don't know about settling out here. That'd be good. But I don't know if I'm the settling type just yet. But listen, this is good. Thanks a lot for showing me around.
My pleasure. Well, of course, welcome back anytime. This is a slow station, so we are more than happy to have new visitors. I'm sure Jimmy will happily sell you all he has, and the local bar. Well, the only time it has activity is when there is visitors, or when we end for the day. It's the only place to relax around here. At the moment, though, if somebody were to set up a restaurant or something, that would definitely be profitable. There's no competition.
There you go, Wesley.
Well, everyone needs to eat.
You know, speaking of eating, I say we meet up with the rest of the crew and grab a food and figure out what our next steps are.
Absolutely.
So you gather up with Femi, who has done the investigation in the not-so-high-class environment, a.k.a. on the boulevard. So, what's the plan now?
I mean, what'd you figure out?
Well, basically, they've been gone for a few months. From my impressive analyzation skills, I've been able to ascertain that they bought pretty much everything in the local shop, and they have about 2 weeks worth of supplies. But I would say that because they are digging and there's a lot of camping supplies and stuff, I would also assume that they may have some type of hydroponics, farming, something where they're at. So they may just be camped out at the planet or, something like that. So
it seems to me like the chance of an actual live rescue mission is less and less each time.
Yeah.
They don't have enough food, and they've been gone for a long time. Probably finding them is going to be difficult around here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the next logical step would be to visit the planet that they were supposed to be doing their research on.
Well, the governor had some interesting things to say. Apparently, there's been multiple exploration ships coming in and out of the system. I had a look at the ship registry, and were all of them sponsored by this shell company, or just the one?
No, only the one.
And apparently these people have been very close-lipped about where and what they're doing. So the administrator mentioned something perhaps about raiders, but really if something's fallen afoul of something, it could be the Minbari, and that's a fight we don't necessarily want to take if we
There's a fight we probably definitely don't want to take.
That's my contribution.
Oh yeah, we don't want to fight the Minbari. We're not going to fight them, don't worry about that. They seem to be pretty good with us lately. I mean, I know we fought them a couple of years back, but I mean, they could have just killed us immediately. I have no idea why they stopped, but it's good for us, so I don't think we're going to be going head-to-head against them.
On that note, while they have all been doing this, what has landed us?
Oh yeah, let's find out about that.
You tell us what you've been doing.
Yeah,
It's the wife, isn't it? It's the wife.
No. So Landis has realised he's been drinking a wee bit too much. He's found one of his finest fitting jackets. It's not that fine fitting anymore. Buttons actually not. And he's like, stripping down, and he's going, I'm having to do the workout then. And he's looking around this room, he goes, not enough space. So he grabs his actual workout equipment and goes down to, he's thinking, maybe the bar will have enough space there. Gets in there, starts piling the tables off to the side and the chairs, and gets a nice centre. Makes sure he's properly stripped down to the waist, no shirt or anything.
Are you sure about that?
Yep.
Oh my.
And what he's grabbing is he's actually holding this entire short sword in the right hand, and the left hand is a dagger. And he's actually slowly just going through the equivalent of Centauri Katas, flowing through one guard into the next, and moving through, and just slowly bring up the actual movement and speed up. But it's like every so often you actually find his concentration's not there. He's actually just misstepping at certain points. And it's like at one point he gets so angry, he turns around and just throws the sword, and you see it kind of sticking. And he kind of goes, oh shit, because in the actual doorway is a certain person. You can make up whoever you want.
Next to the doorway is your non-mechanic going, I guess the bar is closed?
No, Dagar, if you want a drink, you can drink, but I'm just needing to blow off some steam. Sorry about that. Didn't realise you were there. Just walking up, I just grab the sword and pull it out.
Right. I'm gonna have to fix that, haven't I? Firstly's not gonna like that. Why are you breaking up my ship?
Not trying to break up, but I've just trodden the wrong toes, and I don't see how I can repair the damage at the moment. And me being here is like, okay, I can understand why we're here, but it doesn't help me.
So, why are you here? Come on, sit down. Let me pour you a drink. Do you have any spoop?
I think there's some behind you.
Hey, no, that's aged. I don't like that. He pours down a couple of gutbusters and sits them up. Tell the old man, what's bothering you? Is this one of your Centauri rituals, or did you just screw up royally and now you can't go back to your family?
Doesn't matter. You people at least can understand how we do things.
Yeah, I used to be a servant in the Centauri family back in the day. So I know a little bit about the cool's politics.
Well, about a year ago I was still in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, for certain family members, me being an ensign at my age was a bit of an embarrassment, but it works out in certain ways there, because sometimes people don't pay attention to the lowly ensign that's walking down the corridor. They forget who he is and who he's related to. Well, my grandfather, he had used me from time to time, or my uncle-in-law had used me also time to time to gather a wee bit of information on the lower ranks, but it wasn't working out. They had just as many lower ranked officers that answer to them, or even just common troopers that would respond to their wishes. So for someone like me, getting into the higher ranks would have been better. You know, everything that happened beforehand was just experience and just training. Well, I found myself attached to the Advanced Combat Squadron training facility, where part of our duties was testing out the new improvements to our fighters, and also testing out new doctrines and new tactics. Most of it worked out fine. The issue was there was a certain captain there, and it kind of didn't go as way he planned things. The guy was arrogant. It could have worked, but it relied on so many variables. I pulled my squadron out of the formation he planned and went with an older variation. It worked, but I didn't realize at the time the captain was a member of the Rifa family.
Oopsie daisy. I can see why you're in trouble now.
And when there was an inquiry done, of course the simulator showed how his plan would have worked if I didn't break ranks. Yes, I did succeed in my target, but his plan was the better outcome. Of course.
Well, I can't say I know anything about military tactics or doctrine, never been much of a warrior, but what I can say is, you did what you thought was the right thing. What else can you ask a man than to do what he thinks is right?
I can do what my family asks me to do.
Then what is that? Is that the right thing?
I don't know. But this is the thing. That is how we do things on Centauri Prime.
Jacaranda looks to the right and looks to the left and says, does it look like Centauri Prime to me?
Yeah.
You're far, far away from Centauri Prime, one does. Perhaps you should consider that. Perhaps it's not a place where you act like a Centauri, but where you are a Centauri. You are, well, obviously my view of the Centauri is a bit unfair, but while you are a proud people, you are ruthless in certain respects. But there is also a certain eloquence to the way you do things. You managed to make even your drinking seem fashionable. Unless you're a nun, of course. I mean, that's an outside view I picked up. To us, it just looks like you're a bunch of idiots. But that's just the upbringing. Obviously, we had to bring you your drinks and whatnot back on non before you let us go. So, other than that, if you want my advice, be you. Then be a Centauri.
I just look at the guard and I go, did we ever do anything right?
Oh, you left non? So, yeah, I would have appreciated a little less of the, what is it that they called it, resource acquisition by any means necessary?
Oh, you mean the strip mining?
Yes, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, doing things right is such a complex term, but yeah, the only thing you've done right from my perspective is leaving none. But as far as this goes, at least you take care of us. That's the right thing to do. We got bonuses for sticking out for you, so we are more likely to do it in the future. And you hired me, especially since you are one of the shareholders. I don't like Miana much, but that's between me and her. So that's my problem to deal with.
Centauri women can grow on you, but it is an acquired taste.
Yeah, Centauri women can also grow on you like a bunch of thorns as well. Or, what's that word? A disease? Or fungus. Fungus also works, especially between the toes.
I do know my dear wife does give me some headaches.
I'm not going to put my fingers into that pie. I want to stay away from that lady.
Yeah, she had some choice words to say about you, I'll be honest.
I don't mind that. I've been called much worse back in the day.
At least you survived.
Yes, and learned a few lessons. Hatred never leads to anything. It's just a waste of time. Carry on there. I think I'm gonna get some tools to fix that hole. Try not to destroy any more of the hardwood paneling. It's really hard to replace out here. He leaves his empty cup on the table.
Just as you're going out, I just turn and say, Dagar, leave the supplies to repair the hole by the door. I'll do it myself.
Oh, no offense. You don't look like the type who can.
Yes.
You might
Do you have a point in carpentry?
You might want to give me a manual.
Just leave it to me. That's literally my job, to fix the damage you cause, so you pay me for this,
Wow.
I'll do it.
I stand up and I back you bow.
That stops him and he smiles and says, "Thank you," before leaving.
I'm gonna go back to the center. I'm not gonna pick up the swords. I'm just gonna start going through the unarmed combat, katas, for the strike, and all that.
That's also the point where you notice your shuttle coming back towards the ship. I'm just gonna skip a bit. This is where the crew gets back on Jacaranda. What is the plan now that you have discovered what you did?
Alright, here's what we got. We got these guys a couple months out there, between here and Sector 89. Do we know if they were still stuck in hyperspace or are they in regular space? We should probably do some sort of scans, maybe get out halfway between, unless we go with the plan that Femi suggested and we just go straight to Sector 89 and investigate there. I am of the notion that they probably did not reach 89, but we could... Here's what I think, actually. We go to Sector 89, look around, but we don't see them there, we work our way backwards.
Certainly, it seems very logical to me.
Of course, I would have came in a new uniform and let's just say, so what did I miss?
Everything.
Everything, but don't worry.
I've been
we
hearing
can-
that a lot from my
we jump.
family. Yes.
Well, honestly, here's what the situation stands. They left about 2 months ago. They only had about 2 weeks worth of supplies, and they've gone missing. We don't know if they reached Sector 89 or not. We don't know if they're stuck halfway there or not. It's about 20 lives on that ship, and that's basically it. They're going there sort of like a archaeological expedition, and are granted for that. I don't think they have a lot of supplies. I mean, weaponry or things like that.
Does any one of you have admin more than 0?
Yeah, I have admin 2.
Okay, so you're actually pretty proficient in this. Any xenoarchaeological expedition, if they're going to have a hyperspace route that takes 2 weeks, if they don't have supplies for at least 4 weeks plus their stay, they just planned on dying on that journey. So they probably have minimum of 5 weeks from Jericho. But if it was gonna be a longer stay at the dig, they probably had supplies for more than that. What they did here was probably stockpile on what they lost getting from Earth to here, so a few days worth, or whatever luxuries they thought they could fit in.
Yeah.
I'm just going to chime in and I'm just going to go with there's only one actual option for finding Icarus, and that is praying that she got to her destination and something happened there. If she had an accident in hyperspace, she would be drifting all this time. We don't know where she would have had that accident and how far she would have been drifting for.
Yeah, you're right. You know, we'll never find her there in hyperspace, you're right.
And if she dropped out anywhere else, it's where in this galaxy, or this part of the galaxy, did she drop out? Again, it's the same. So if we check where they were meant to go and we find no indication, then we are still fulfilling the obligation of actually confirming we have went there, we have checked, she has not been found. She is definitely missing. And if there's no indication that she's ever arrived, then we can say, looks like something happened before she even arrived. And
yeah, but our mission is to find out what happened. Otherwise, we don't get paid. We can't just show up and be like, yep, they ain't here. We need to find out what happened.
The only way we can do that, the best chance in that, let's just pray to the Great Maker, or whatever deity you believe in, that it made it.
Yeah, I'm for that. Let's take an informal poll. Everybody for going straight to Sector 89, raise your hand.
Oh, unanimous.
There it is.
Well, we have a quorum of decision makers, not that it matters, with myself, may I remind you, as the elected captain of the ship.
When do we have an
89,
election?
86. 86? No, this is dictatorship.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember our election, so okay.
Sector 86, shall we?
It's about a 2-week, what do we think? It's about a 2-week process?
Yes, that is what your plans say. About 2 weeks from Jericho to Sector 86. So, yeah, the journey through space is long. Hyperspace, in my correction. The red and black vastness that surrounds you as you travel across the great void towards your destination. It takes you 2 weeks and 5 extra days as you travel through the void. During this time, nothing of particular interest happens, as the space is vast and boring and empty. Mostly some quarrels between Dugar and Miana that end up being just shouting matches between the avocations as the situation gets tense. But since you have fresh vegetables and stuff like that, you are more than able to make up for the bad moods with fresh vitamin C.
Yeah, how bad is the shouting getting between those two?
Doors are being slammed and curses are being yelled across corridors in the ship. But they grudgingly work together when needed to fix things and make things go. Fear is trying to just stay out of it, like, I'll be at the sensor station.
Unless any of those two actually try to talk to me, I'll probably be staying out of it because I don't want to get into any sort of situation like, oh, you're siding with him, or of course you're going to side with this entire female, you know.
At the moment, none of them seems to be dragging you or anyone else into it. It just seems they have decided to settle this between themselves professionally.
I'm thinking I'm going to actually spend, if I'm not on the bridge, you know, with other pilots there keeping an eye on what's going on in my spare time, I'm trying to avoid the bottle. I'm just kind of regretting that kind of massive binge I was on for like the previous 4 weeks there, and I'm literally maybe not using the bar this time, but I'm like trying to find more quiet corners, and I'm just going through my exercises and the routines that I can go through. Not go cabin fever.
Yeah, well, at least you're not alone here, so there's plenty of people to talk to when needed. How about the rest of you? How do you hold off the cabin fever?
Being the professional leader and numbers man that I am, I start up, in order to keep crew morale up, a small side betting pool about when the Narn and the Centauri are going to get together. So I would like to roll gamble to set up the bookie odds and get the rest of the crew engaged.
Right, although when I come across and see this on the memo and I'm going, the Narn and the Centauri get together.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's so crudely worded, it's not clear. We know which Narn, but we don't know which Centauri, right? And I'm just going to stridently stride into your room and go, I want to know what you're insinuating about me and my proclivities.
Look, my man, if you want into the game, you just have to tell me. We're taking side bets over here, and I've drawn up a table of odds.
Centauri are you meaning?
Oh, you know, look, all you Centauri look the same anyway.
I think you're not that blind to see the nice big fan of hair I have compared to Mr. Fear Jado, and also Miana has no hair apart from a ponytail.
Look, keep your hair on. Trust me, my friend. We're not betting on you and the Nine getting together. I'd be surprised if you swung that way. So, do you want to get in on the betting pool?
If you're betting on Miana and the girl getting together, and she finds... Hold on. You've put this to everyone.
Look, you strike me as a man who can keep his mouth shut.
You've put this to everyone.
Well, we need the money in for the betting pool.
Dugar and Miana have read this.
No. I'll clarify. I have gone to everyone in person to discuss it and shown them the private table I have drawn up on intercrew relations. With a 11 on Gambler, I assume I can draw up a basic betting table.
Yep, I count that as being high enough success to actually not have sent it to Dugar and Miana. So those two are utterly unaware of this unless somebody tells them.
Look, this is just a thing between all of us to get everybody engaged in monitoring crew interpersonal relationships with a little added incentive. So,
have you ever worked on a ship before?
Why, yes.
Yeah, it's like when we had such bets on the ships and you say keep it a secret. Who found out within a second flat? The captain and the admiral.
Well, look, I am the captain, so frankly, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
I think our
it's not keeping crew morale.
I think my concern, what a certain Centauri female might try to do to you.
It's mutiny.
I think it's called murder. And I do not want to be standing outside your door until she calms down. So you might want to think about retracting it before she finds out.
Look, I'm telling you, man, it does wonders for crew morale, and if you don't want to bet, that's fine. I'm not going to press you into gambling. You already have enough problems with your proclivities as it is.
Yes,
so
exactly.
If you'll excuse me, I'll have another brandy.
You might want to lock your door. I just walk out, and I'm actually just looking at the door, and I'm just going with, could I just weld this door shut? It's for safety, yes. I think I could swing that, cut a wee hole, we can feed them.
Slide it under the bottom of the door, little cat flap.
I'm just like double checking. It's like, there is no like pissed off Narn or angry Centauri women heading this way.
As you look around, no, doesn't seem like it.
Oh.
I'm going to just calmly walk to my stateroom and just pray I don't meet either of those two because I won't be able to look them in the eye.
Well, if it's taking us 2.5 weeks, I would probably go to Malone and be like, so do you want to, do some psychic mumbo jumbo?
If you're trying to say we're trying to get into my brain, yeah, I suppose it's about time. Been trying to avoid this as long as possible, but let's do it. How can I be of service? What can I do?
I mean, just lay down there and open your mind.
All right, Femi, I trust you. Like I said, I'm on board with this new thing that we're doing. Right. Promise not to poke around too much, right?
I mean, I'll try my best. So,
I got nothing to hide anyway, so just go right ahead.
I'll crack the knuckles, and then, I'll put my hands on both sides of his temples, and we'll see what happens.
As Noah relaxes and closes his eyes and waits, he doesn't even feel anything when Femi just slips in. While Femi is inside Noah's head, it seems like you can see anything he is thinking about. There is old memories, some of which you recognize, some of which are filled with blood and gore, some of which is people you've never seen, but there is a small portion of the brain that is not available. There is a void there.
So you say void?
Yes, you're looking at the dark shadow in Noah's mind. There are no connections to other memories. It's weird because all memories are interconnected somehow. There's always a trail leading somewhere, but whatever is in there, all memories just go around it, skirt it, afar. It's not in the corner, it's not on the sides, It's smack dab middle, which is weird.
So the question is, how stupid do I want to be?
Very
next?
stupid.
I feel I do. And I'm just going to go out and like mentally touch it. Or
Yes.
I want to consume it.
You want to consume it, eh? Yep. Femi falls unconscious for a moment.
Okay.
Noah feels like a weight is lifted from him. This is
Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad.
It's okay.
I love it.
yeah, but Noah is like after a very good massage. Everything is so relaxed.
Hey, Femi, that really helped. Hey.
Then there is.
Yeah. This.
Oh, shit. Guys, Landis, Wesley, we need you over here in my quarters, ASAP.
I'm literally just down the
Yes.
corridor.
Femi, wake up. Medical check. Breathing, check his pupils, breath, heartbeat,
Huh?
the usual.
Good news is he's alive. He's breathing, just out of consciousness. And after a moment,
You just hear me hammering on the door.
so yeah, the door opens immediately after he says, "Come in." And just as Landis gets in, Femi opens his eyes. Except the eyes are all black.
Oh, shit. No.
Great.
Then he blinks and they're normal. And Femi's like, he has no memories of what happened after that until this moment.
You
What happened?
are a bunch of fools. What were you doing?
He was, I don't know, checking my brain. And then he fell unconscious. And you doing all right, Femi? You still with me?
Yeah. I just like rub my hand like, yeah.
You remember anything from the last 5 minutes?
No, I remember trying to read your thoughts and then I'm on the fucking ground.
Look, my man, are your
Whatever you
eyes
did, I feel much better. But now I'm worried about you, so...
Right. I'm going over to Femi. I'm literally offering him an arm. Right, let's get you into a chair at least.
Okay. I've lived with my psychic powers my entire life.
Hmm?
So does anything feel like, do I just like mentally feel different or do I just like, everything's okay?
Yeah, as you're getting your bearings, everything seems clearer. Everything seems brighter. And as you instinctively test yourself out, you also feel stronger. Your psi rating goes up by 3 points.
Oh gosh. This is not good. Oh god, this is not good. Oh god. This is not good.
I hate to pry, and I know the Psycho is very closed-mouthed, and taciturn, and violent about keeping their secrets, but do your eyes often go pitch black as of an afternoon?
No, that would be a first time for me. But you feel good, Noah?
Yeah, whatever you did, I mean, I'm no longer as angry as I was, and, I don't know, clear-headed, better.
Okay, well, at least that's...
Like, no longer injured in here like it was here.
Oh.
Now I'm worried about you, buddy.
No, actually, I haven't felt this good in a long time.
Well,
I actually
there
feel
we
great.
go.
I'm just actually going to Noah and I'll say, a while back you were talking about voice. Is it still there?
Well, let me check. I mean, the voice hasn't been there for a while. It kind of goes in and out on their own, you know. It's not there 24/7. Hello? Talia? You still here with me?
Only the echoes of your own voice bounce inside your head. It feels a bit emptier than it was, but lighter, easier to manage.
Yeah, Landis, if you're trying to figure out if this girl's still in my brain, I think she might be gone. I don't feel... It's different now. Better. Much better, but different. I guess we'll find out.
I'm just going to say, for us, Centauri, a lot of what I suspected was going on it hasn't happened in a long time because this stuff doesn't happen with our telepaths anymore. They are trained. They know how to handle their powers. So if something like that was to happen, it's intentional, and our laws are quite clear. You're not meant to do this because of the damage it can do to people, splitting off a part of your mind and leaving it in someone else's head. We used to have stories about people being possessed and rituals to get rid of evil spirits, and in the more enlightened age we found that it's because it was people who couldn't control their telepathic powers, and it was just as dangerous to the telepaths because they were damaging their own psyche doing it. We used to have rituals where it used to be groups of telepaths would do a removal of such possession, as the story used to go. He's just done it by himself.
Well, honestly, I don't know how any of this works. This is all space magic to me.
I feel great.
And it seems to me like, Femi, if you're okay and I'm okay and Lance and Wes, you're all right?
I would say Femi will want to sit, at least get some rest for a while. Make sure
Femi.
there's no because
you're feeling good though, right, Femi? Nothing bad?
No.
See, I think what may have happened is I'm not used to that stuff in my brain. I don't have any of these psycho powers or anything like that. So maybe that's why I felt bad, and now it's back to him and he knows what to do with it.
It's one thing if it was the rituals that we talk about, it was all about a group of psychics finding what was implanted in the victim's head and actually trying to retrieve and put the fragment back into the original person's head, not for someone else to take it.
Well, it might be kind of hard since, Talia's dead and all.
And you know what? The human mind works different than the Centauri, so...
This is why I'm saying I don't know, but if it's anything like how it happens in our stories, you might want to be careful.
Okay.
Look, enough Centauri superstition. I mean, it's all very interesting, but this can be solved by the experts back in the Earth Alliance. I'm sure the Psychor is much better equipped to handle this than ourselves. And for now, we have a $1.5 million mission that is waiting. So
yeah,
you are all in good condition.
Captain.
Yep.
Yo, communicator goes beep beep. Captain.
Yeah.
We are approaching the coordinates. You should be able to jump anytime you want. We're here. Oh, that's what Fear is saying. So, anytime you want, we can engage jump engines and get in there.
Look, I want everyone in fighting stations. We don't know what might be there to greet us. Get prepared, and I will be on the bridge.
Going to the bridge.
Yeah, let's head off to the bridge.
There's a bridge on the spaceship, isn't there, right? They have bridges in Babylon 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, your ship has a...
It connects two land masses over a river.
As they're doing it, I'm just sitting on my one. I'm going, Jagar, we're about to jump out. You might want to make sure we have emergency power, just in case we need to jump back in immediately.
Okay, I see what I can do, but that's pretty Miana's thing. I just fix things. I don't really know how the engines work in the bigger detail. She knows better, but I'll see what I can do.
I'll bring it to her attention in that case. My apologies, Jagar.
No worries, mate.
However, I do want you to, just stand by in case things go bad as well afterward. Here's what we're going to want. We're going to want stations ready, or let's just assume that we're going to jump in and things are going to go bad. I want us back on stealth mission. I want us, somebody on weapons, probably be me on weapons. I want scanners to their maximum, and I want to go stealth mode immediately after we jump in. Can we handle that?
Yeah, but whenever we make the jump, we're gonna be like a target for everyone in a 1,000,000-mile radius. So
that's my worry.
If they have any scanners on in any way, the jump point is gonna signal anyone in the nearby. But hey, we'll do.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of like, let's make sure that we also can see out as much as possible.
Yeah, well, the scanners aren't much, but we'll do what we can. Fear is very confident in his abilities to use the scanners, but he's a bit miffed that he can't, use them to scan his things, but he needs to scan other things, but yeah, that's part of the job. So, your jump engines engage, a jump point forms ahead of you, and you exit in the normal space with a whoosh, as the hyperspace is left behind and the natural space is around you, dotted by the countless stars in night sky. In the distance, a red-orange tinged planet sits, and Fear immediately mentions, we have a ship on the scanner. It's at about 60,000 clicks away.
Is that very close in stellar terms?
Yeah, it's in the distant zone. And also, we're getting a signal.
I wonder if that's the Icarus.
I doubt it. It's in intellect, and it seems to be recognizing itself as Dash.
I don't know what those words mean.
What?
Yeah, there is an unknown entity sending us a message. Do you want to hear it?
Absolutely. Throw it up on the bridge communications. Everyone look lively.
Yeah. There is a bold creature about cream-white complexion. Only skin and head has these cracks all in the skin. Little beady eyes and smooth bulbous features around mouth. Humanoidish. And this is the Dash to the entering vessel. This wreckage is ours. We have appropriated it according to the interspecies salvage laws. If you are just here passing by, we welcome you. But other than that, what was I supposed to say? Merry voyage to you.
Do we know the Dash? Are they like a minor alien species? They're in public knowledge, I guess.
Do I recognize the...
Cortus has no idea, though Wesley notices that this is actually a species called the Markup. They are minor species, a long way from Markup space, and the Dash is probably the ship.
But I got languages. Would I speak in a Markup? Like hailing a beer or saying hello? Or
what's your ranking
unlikely?
in languages?
Just 0, just a amateur interest in a variety of languages.
Well, considering you recognize the language, yeah, I suppose you know a few words in Markup.
Are you actually going to advise us those are markups, by any chance?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll mute it briefly and just sort of, brief everyone. 30 seconds. Minor alien species, Markups, long way from home.
They do have a single planet.
If that's the Icarus, that belongs to us, and they're invading on our territory. We will not let them take that wretch. That's if it's the Icarus. Captain, how do you want to handle the situation?
Friendly at first, and then if we're not friendly, well, they're a long way from home, you know. Captain of the Dash, hail and well met, you know, you're a long way from home. We are here on a rescue mission, according to international galactic law, so we will stand ready and willing to assist with the recovery of the ship and any extant crew members.
The Markup looks back. We are not sharing the ship. It is ours. We need material, but if you want to buy, we sell.
We will closer to identify the ship to see if it is the one whom we're searching for, but we have less interest in salvage and more in any surviving crew members. In fact, if there are survivors, we will take them off their hands and feed them ourselves so that you can maximize your profit this run.
Captain, we got to get on that ship.
Yes, exactly. Basically we will assist in salvage and we will take any crew members that might survive or any remains and repatriate them back home.
I'm just going to sidle up to Malone's there and I'm just going to have my back turned to the screen and I'm just going to go, I don't recognize the species, but I have heard of the planet they're from. They're a long way from home. How are they out here? They had to come past you humans.
Now they're on their ship on the planet, right?
Well, they're not on the planet. We're still in space. There's two
right?
ships out there.
Out there, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way we can tell how many Like, how many people are on their ship?
Fear says, if we get closer, we can try and scan the ship to find out who is inside.
Scan both ships if you don't mind.
There is only one ship.
Oh.
It must be like wreckages on the planet.
Well, we are also very far, so maybe there is 2 ships attached. So, this anyway, one mass. I
But
assume
how
this
far?
ship, because it is not an asteroid and it is 60,000 kilometers.
I guess just continue closing with, I guess, everything active.
Yeah, shields
Bring
up.
us in closer.
Yep.
Alright.
So
But this,
I guess what is it to sort of reassure the captain or just to communicate a firm intent, but like not a fundamentally hostile one?
they are like, yes, you gotta come closer. See what is ship. If thing, you can take what you want. And as you're moving closer, easily getting past the mark as close as you want. And at about this point is when Fear can determine that, yes, there is wreckage around ship. So many small pieces and escape pod. One with human life sign. And also the ship has 5 markup thing inside.
Do you have 5 what inside?
Markup. Yes.
Oh, 5 aliens. Got it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Close in on the life pod, I guess, is what we do.
The markup are like, yes, close enough. You want to buy salvage? Yes, our salvage.
We do not have necessarily have as much interest in the salvage so much as the Human Federation passengers and survivors. But we would be willing to dicker or trade if you have anything of particular interest.
Yeah, let's see what they got. They might have the logs that we're after or any other the clues.
Yeah.
Well, it takes a moment, but they sent you a list of what they found. It's mainly a big list of scrap items. So I suppose that would be engineering computers to figure out which of those would be of your particular interest.
I guess we just say, just give us 15 minutes while we consult just amongst our crew.
As there's 100,000 credits sitting there in a space pod. Quickly will be 0.
Yeah, okay, I guess the space pod, and the...
Escape pod, I should say.
That's the one, you know what I mean.
Alright, what else do we got in there?
Femi knows.
Well, I mean, that's a 10 on electronics just to see if this junk is worth anything or if it's any beneficial to what we need to turn in.
I'm assuming the ship has some like external cameras there. Can we potentially get them focused on the wreckage to see if we can get any views of the markings of the wreckage that the markup ship is hooking itself up to?
Yeah, you have actual windows, so. But you're also...
Is there any handy hull name markings?
Yeah, they actually provide you the information that this is indeed Icarus. And in the manifest of what they have salvaged, you do spot a description of a human navigation computer, which would host also the logs. Not navigation console, the black box. They describe the orange box that they use to store any critical information in.
So we need the person first, and then, well, we need the person, and then we need the black box, because that's pretty much.
Yeah, black box would be great.
So we need those 2 things.
That is the proof. That is worth 1.5 million.
Absolutely.
Right there.
So let's offer them, what's a reasonable price for salvage?
You actually managed to get the worthless-looking black box with some electronics in it. They agree that it's worth 1,500 credits.
Look, I think my nephew will like to play on this when we get home.
Along those lines, like, everything is sort of like, it's scrap. You don't need scrap. You only have so much space. But we'll take this because it looks nice. Might make a good mantelpiece, so nephew will play with it. So.
And, I mean, obviously we want the human because,
A human also, yes.
Why would you? This is messy human body, not really worth anything.
It's an escape pod, though. Is it actually? Do they have possession of it, or is it actually floating out in space?
Yeah,
it's attached to the ship. Sort of like in a net. The 1500 assumes you take the human, but leave the pod. They want the pod. The human is irrelevant. Just pod.
Okay.
Of course. Look, we're honest brokers here. We'll take the human off your hands for free. As a gesture of goodwill and safe travel.
But we should definitely check that box and the person before we fly away.
Yeah, definitely. How are you going to approach this then? The pod is tiny. Getting it into Jacaranda amidst all that wreckage is gonna be probably detrimental to your finer paid jobs. But you do have a shuttle, so you could take the shuttle, go pick up the black box and the human from the pod with it.
Alright, I'm like, Lannis, let's go.
Right.
You can do something useful for once.
Hey guys, are we also going to have permission to board the ship and investigate ourselves? I don't think the black box is going to give us everything we need, and I'd really like to get on this ship.
Look,
I mean, it's just a wreckage, right? Is it pieces or is it intact parts?
It's in pieces.
Okay.
The only ship is a markup ship that's clearly non-human.
Oh, I see. I was expecting something with a hole in it. Yeah, it's all completely.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's take the shuttle, and just in case, let's take a.
I'm just going to turn to Sidor just as I'm leaving and say, Sidor, you might want to check if they've got any of the bodies.
Oh, yes. Well remembered. I'll find them and I will just say, look, culturally, if there's any human remains you might have, we'd be willing to pay, 200 each per human body, or, a reasonable amount.
200's good. I like that.
For corpses, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we'll put them in our freezer and take them back home so they can be
50,000 credits. So
the markup looks at that. We dispose of, we throw into towards sun.
What?
they threw it into the sun.
No need for biological things. Contain disease. It's filthy. We throw away.
How many were there?
23. So 22 bodies they just threw away.
I want to hear from them.
Did not count. Just throw away.
I have to ask, when did you get into the system to see this wreckage? Were you just passing through, just making, chit-chat and trying to extract relevant information from the Mongoose? Well, we investigate.
We do not share secret. It's trade secret. We find.
You understand our position that we have a research group that came out here. We're here as a rescue mission to find out what happened to them. We see you here. Obviously, we're going to want to know what happened, and you're the best person of information. Did you do this mess, or are you just here for wreckage?
The markup looks to his side and says something in Markabian.
If I'm still on the bridge, I'm just going to go and say, why do I get the feeling you're not the man we're meant to be talking to? There's someone that is pulling your strings there, or at least has a higher authority to speak.
I just muted this. Landis, let's be nice to the nice traders who's selling us this salvage at such a reasonable rate and such a good gift for my nephew.
I'm not disputing that, Sadora, but what I'm disputing is I like to know who I'm trading with. And someone off to the side.
Just they're melting 1.5 million.
I guess he's saying, let's at least get what we came for first before we start
asking questions, unpolite questions,
accusing people of things.
Yeah. Good idea. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah.
The markup finally finishes his conversation, turns towards the camera again and goes, you want human? You do not want human. If you want to accuse of blowing up ship?
No. Mistake. We just want to investigate it. That's all. We just want information. We are not trying to accuse you.
Explosion inside. Go everywhere.
Okay. Well, I'm like, Landon, let's just go get the box, get the body, and then you can insult people when we get back.
Fair enough.
Who goes to the shuttle?
Well, be me.
Yes, I guess us three.
Oh, the three of you. Okay.
Zadora, stay here. You're the captain. You must stay safe.
making nice. My apologies for my crew member. No, he's newly hired. You know how it is when you're trading. I will include an extra 500 credits just to cover over any ruffled feelings between friends. My apologies. Blah 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 blah. Cut to the shuttle, I guess.
Yes, the shuttle crew directs itself towards the markup ship as you close the distance, and they offer you no resistance. Which do you go first, for the escape pod or for the ship, for the black box?
The ship backlogs.
The ship first.
Yeah, the black box first, and then the person, I guess.
We think black box is the most important portion at the moment.
That's
It's the primary goal.
Yeah. Cold-blooded. It's okay. I like it.
I just love the sheer prophetism. Yeah, that's 1.5 million, 100,000 per person. Yeah, we can't put a price on the life, people.
Yes.
We have a primary goal, that's it. I mean, that's a secondary goal. That's the way I look at it.
So you go to the airlock, attach yourself to the airlock, it opens up, and there is 2 markups, one of which is like huge, holding the orange black box in his hands, and the other one is the same one you were talking to, and it's like, yes, credit.
I assumed we just took a suitcase of hard credits on the shuttle or whatever.
And unless there is something else you want to do, all you see is like this small corridor that has a few alien-designed doorways with closed doors. And if you hand them credits, they hand you the box, and you can leave. No problems.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for this transaction. Thank you for the information as well. Hopefully we get what we need and we're able to solve this mystery and help the people that were here get peace.
Yes, we get back to work.
Yeah, we're gonna go get that pod now.
No, pod stays. Human go.
Yeah, we're just going to get a human.
Purchase a human too.
But we're just going to get a human. They can keep the pod.
Yeah.
Get a human as a freebie.
Waves its appendage towards you and shoos you back into the airlock, and you're out, maneuvering towards. Yeah, you manage to steer around the wreckage, get into a position to get your airlock next to the pod, so you can attach the pod against your airlock, so its airlock is against it. And as it's human design versus human design, it's easy enough. That's exactly what it's meant to be doing.
There's 2 things I want to do, though. I want to secure the human first, check them, make sure they're okay, and then I want to basically, whatever logs are on this pod, I want them, because usually it at least gives you, what was happening around the pod prior to whatever. So I want to take all that information also.
Are the logs part of the black box, or are they separate?
Well, that's what happened to the big ship. I'm trying to figure out what happened with this pod after the and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, see, the guy could have been recording stuff.
Yeah, so whatever. So I want to take all that, erase whatever backup there is, and then human.
Yeah. Okay, as you open up the airlock, the first thing you notice is the horrid smell that weeps in.
Oh.
There's been fermenting excrement here for weeks. And
I'm just going to go, thank goodness I brought my suit, and I'm just closing the helmet.
It's too late, it's already in your nostrils.
Yeah, but I'm freshening it up. Don't have to breathe anymore.
And inside all that, there is a man who seems to be naked and malnourished to the point. You know those World War II pictures about certain people in certain camping conditions?
We know exactly what we were referencing here.
Yes.
He's got the greyhound look where the guts are all coming in there,
and just about every bone is
emaciated.
Every bone is visible, and there is some blackish hair on his head, but he seems it's definitely a man. You can see that. Next to him there is a towel. Used to be white towel, now looks rancid sort of, and its small eyes barely open to see you, and it opens its mouth but no sound comes out.
Okay, we got you here. You're fine.
Yeah,
take your rest.
There is also lots of trash, probably like meals that he has eaten during his time here, and
we'll get him on the ship, and then where I need to do the logs or whatever.
Yeah, you wanna roll me medic checks?
Yes, medic. Are you okay?
He's breathing. He's alive. So Femi is focusing on that. But a day more of this, and he would have been a goner by now. He's not only malnourished, but also lacking in water.
Do we have something that like slowly give him water inside the shuttle?
Yeah, you have some basic survival rations in the shuttle, so you can start like doling out some.
Yeah, I'm gonna like basically try to give it to him, tell him take it slowly, don't try to take in too much too fast, because that'll just make things worse for him. So
but
we got a bad kid too if we want to give him some insulin or something.
Yeah. The only answer you get out of him is the shine in his eyes. Oh, and he has a necklace on him, some weird looking piece of jewelry, like the only thing he owns, except for the towel that you probably are gonna leave behind in the shuttle.
Yeah, that can stay on the shuttle. They can keep the refuse and all that. Okay, I'm gonna go back in and try to get the logs off.
They wanted the pod. They got that.
Yeah.
They can clean it out.
I want to try to take the logs off the pod.
You manage that, no problem. You know where to look at.
I'm just going to tap my suit communicator and go, Femi, are you trying to stink out the shuttle?
I'm trying to make sure we get paid, Landis.
Hurry up, because I think the upholstery on my chair is starting to rot just from this.
Yes. I'm going as fast as I can. I don't like wafting in shit either. Go back to the ship, the shuttle.
You can't persuade me otherwise of the time you're taking.
Yeah, you get the man on the shuttle and get the shuttle back to the ship, leaving the pod for the Margab scavengers to do what they please with the human refuse.
Well, I do call over and tell somebody to get like a bed or like quarters ready for a person, plus with, food, water, basic things he's going to need in order to start the mend back in the right direction.
Frazier, get that ready.
Femi cares sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. There is a little bit of hubbub as the hirelings do thy bidding. They ferry up things while waiting for the shuttle to return, which doesn't take long, as you get the man to a proper bed. Probably gonna wash him like 3 times, because without washing, he's just gonna stink the place up.
Yeah.
Miana is like, dear God, great baker, how can you? That smells almost as bad as a nothing.
I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. Right. The rest of these guys don't need to hear a Centauri woman complain about smell. I'm going. Right, Miana, come with me. I think I've got some fragrances from the home world that might help.
The entire home.
Smell like soap.
While that's happening, can me and Malone basically be checking the logs in the box to make sure it has exactly what we need to get paid?
Fraser is laughing at that response, like, women. But yeah, you get the man some treatment, and you have the black box and you have the logs. Do you wish to examine those?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Can we get our ship to perhaps a safe standoff distance from the scavengers before we get distracted by other possibilities?
Okay.
Sure. I'll maybe like a slow fly away.
Yeah.
Just in case we need to turn around and blow them up, because it's
exactly. Safe travels to you gentle beings as well.
They apparently have no problem of letting you go as you pay them the agreed upon sum of money.
And even got rid of the troublesome human.
Yes, you have now an extra passenger and some logs to go through. Accessing these logs is not hard, as the black box is not exactly... What is it? Yes, it is. That is encrypted, which is unusual practice for a black box.
Do we even need to break into this, or can we hand it over to the experts to decode in their own time?
Okay.
Getting verification that this is the Icarus is probably the best thing that we should do.
Yeah.
Before we turn it into the guys that sent us here to find the Icarus.
On the side of the black box, there is actually stencil markings that say Icarus.
Nice.
IPX Icarus. And the address where they posted, like Mars Dome, street address and everything.
Here's the issue, because I don't want to be like, it's from the Icarus, so I guess it is the log, so I guess it should suffice. I just don't want to turn in and be like, this is shit. We're not paying you. Bye.
Our primary mission was to find out what happened to it
This is true.
or find proof of it. This is proof that it blew up.
And we have all the visual recordings from the scanners. So that should suffice.
We do have a live person who can just tell us what happened.
And the
That
logs,
also.
if we could get into the logs, that'd give us a better story, but it's encrypted, it looks like, and we got a live person. This is great. We need to help. He'll be able to answer some more questions.
I mean,
We just got to make sure to keep him,
Healthy and worth 100,000 credits.
well,
Give the man
and
some
worth alive
caviar.
as well.
So, you do try to break into the files?
Not yet. I guess we'll ask him first before we start trying to crack military encryption. Well, show our hands, I guess.
I mean, I just want to do it either way.
All right, let's do it as narrative momentum.
I mean, I just feel like information
That's true.
is
How much do
more
we really
valuable.
trust Cycle? Yeah.
I trust them implicitly.
So, my first question is, are you gonna be dilly-dallying around in the system, or are you going to jump back to hyperspace before you start doing anything?
Going to jump back. Look, we have what we need. There's no point in malingering.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
basically have 1.6 million credits here.
exactly. I mean, I say we need to jump back to high space. It's gonna take us 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks maybe to get back anyway. So that gives us time to maybe get killed because they'll see that we hacked into it. I don't know.
We came in and we came out, but is there anything else of value or anything around here? I mean, we haven't even checked out the site that they were going to, but I don't think we need to anyways.
Yeah.
And how many of you are xenoarchaeologists?
None of us.
Oh, I dabble a little bit. I
Improvise,
listened to a
adapt,
podcast on it
overcome.
once. It's fascinating.
Like I said, I mean, we got what we came for. We got a survivor. We got logs. There's nothing left here. If they need us to come back, we'll come back.
They
I
can
like
pay us again.
Decision has been made. Let's do it.
I'm on the bridge. I'm just going to go up to Fear, and I'm just going to go with... You just took scans of that Markup ship, did you know?
Yes.
Did it have any weaponry at all?
Yes.
What type?
Pulse lasers?
I'm just thinking about it, and it's like... And the wreckage there, if we were to actually try and ascertain if it blew from inside or if it was attacked, we would actually need the wreckage.
Yes. Unless there is logs about.
We should have the black box, but I'll wait till the other partners are here before I say anything or do anything. Just maintain your scans of the area.
Alright.
Something happened. Is there anything on our records that would indicate that draft ship has got its own jump engines? It had to get here somehow.
Well, it's big enough to have one. It's almost half as big as ours.
So is that a yes or no? I couldn't quite understand.
It's
It's
a
more than
possibility.
likely.
Possible.
It's a possibility. Oh, why is it here, though?
Look, we don't get paid to ask questions. We get paid to retrieve people in black boxes. Frankly, if that ship had shot the other ship, unless I'm getting paid to bring it in, I simply do not care.
We actually are being paid to find out what happened.
Yes, not to correct it.
You're the captain.
Of course, while
Out of
this
character.
happened, I've been sitting in the central chair.
In the control chair. In the captain's chair, have you?
Mm-hmm. It's just when you just started talking to
Relax.
yeah, I've just realised you've walked in, as I've been talking there.
I'm going to do that thing where you have the remote control and then your father frowns at you speculatively.
Oh yeah, we don't have that in Centauri.
Yeah,
Bro.
like
I don't
that.
know what that. I don't know what,
that.
I'm just going. Yes, Adora, can I help you? It's a very
The
nice
long
chair.
look. Go help your mother in the kitchen,
It's a very nice chair. I can understand why you sit in it all day long.
I can order one for your stateroom now that you're not sharing with your brother-in-law, if you'd like.
I might just actually ask the guard to move it to my station over there instead. Oh, it's very comfortable. Do you actually have this intentionally designed to actually fit the contours of your buttocks or something like that? It's very firm. But
Yes, it's actually personally designed for myself by a well-known interior leatherworker on Earth. And, given that, I quite like to experience myself.
Femi.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
In the back of your head, you get the sudden urge that there's a danger approaching.
Kind of look around like, think we're in trouble.
It's like it's looming. It's large. It's about to come for you all.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, just jump now. Let's get out of here. Something's bad about to happen.
Get us back. I say, Miana, bring up those engines. They should still be up.
We need to get out of here now.
No, okay. Fear is like, I have the calculations here. Fraser is, punch again! And just as your jump point's open and you slide into the vortex, Femi can hear this low-pitched scream in his mind. It's almost like a cross between a shriek of a dying woman and a plane passing by. As you jump into hyperspace, and as the portal closes, the voice goes away.
Kind of like do that whole my head hurts thing and just kind of shake my head.
Your forehead is filled with cold sweat, and your neck hair slowly begins to descend.
I'm just
as
gonna.
the hyperspace embraces you.
I'm just actually going to grab Femi. Then going right. I thought something like this was going to happen. We're getting you lying down at least, and I'm just going to escort him out the bridge.
I kind of just like smack his hands with him, like I'm fine.
You're not.
I just need a drink, Landis. I just need a drink.
Well, water.
I'm going to the bar, and I walk to the bar.
Grab some water, not alcohol.
Sir? Which way?
We're going back to Jericho.
Back to Jericho, yes.
Back to Jericho. Jericho to fuel up, and then back to the one place. Forget the name already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ultimately, Proxima. We're not going further out into the rim. Don't be stupid.
Yeah. Jericho refueled in Proxima.
Just needed to make sure. Yeah, the ship starts heading through the empty void of hyperspace for the next 2 weeks and 3 days.
Can we just take a quick metagaming approach just to rehabilitating our prisoner and interviewing him about stuff?
Actually, in about a day, he's already up and about. He's regained a lot of strength from being fed. He doesn't look better, but he gets some loner clothing, and he doesn't look as bad, and he's up and can talk. He's like, thank you for saving me from that. I thought I would never see another human again, let alone survive.
What happened?
I don't know. I was taking a shower. We were heading towards the planet, and I was coming out of the shower and going to my room to change some clothing, and suddenly there was sound of an explosion, and things started going awry, and I just jumped into the escape pod, and before I noticed, I was out in the open space, floating on my own. No one else with me.
Look, for insurance purposes, we're going to have to go through all the preliminaries. So if we just sit down here with a cup of coffee at a tape recorder, and what's your name, where are you from, what are you doing, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he starts going, and he starts with, my name is Morden, and this is where we end the session today.
See you next week.
Bonus nachos, everybody.